I'll just be really annoyed.
Really upset.
I just won't be coming back tomorrow. Be like, no, go fuck yourself.
Or Thursday.
I'm going home and sleeping.
What's tomorrow and what's Thursday?
Thursday I move in here.
Right.
Tomorrow I have to pack, so I won't be coming back anyway.
So, yeah, keeping you here till 12:30.
Woo.
Actually, I have to work with my manager that is... He's not a hard ass, but he would be the more strict of the two tomorrow. And I had to work with him today, so it's 2 days in a row.
Woo.
Which means 2 days in a row of no coffee in the morning. Because I can't
have coffee?
Oh, I just can't walk across the street to Waffle House at 9 o'clock in the morning for no reason other than to get coffee.
We'll leave work earlier and stop by Waffle House and get coffee. You know they're open 24
Leave
hours.
for
right?
work earlier?
Yeah.
No. That'll never happen ever. I just don't have that much drive to get to work.
I have that much drive to get coffee.
Well,
When I
apparently
worked-
there's
when
a
I worked-
coffee machine. There's a coffee pot upstairs.
It's a coffee pot right over there.
Apparently there's a coffee pot upstairs.
What? I don't.
At work,
Oh, okay.
in the office. I just never use it.
Huh.
Well, you
Because-
should. You should.
You should
Well-
think about that.
Well, the problem with using it is I'd have to deal with it, and I'd make coffee. I would have to make.
You have to put. So what you're saying
I
is
would
you have to
make
put
coffee-
sunglasses on first.
Yeah, I would make coffee long before anybody else gets there. That would drink the coffee,
And?
so I would just be wasting coffee.
Or you could just
You
make
could
a
just-
smaller amount of coffee.
You can do that.
You could make not an entire pot.
I would probably just drink the entire pot
Like
and say fuck everyone.
Like a psychopath.
This is my coffee.
You can get one of them like those fucking Bubba jugs.
Yeah, I
from
have
Food
one.
Line. Oh, well, you have one. Yeah, just fill that with coffee.
The only
Fuck.
problem is if I make all that coffee, I will drink all that coffee, and
Oh.
if we don't have anyone come
You
in,
won't need the paint
I
shaker.
will just
you just
be-
put it on your head and just go.
if nobody comes in, I will be bored and hyper, so I'll just be all over the fucking place, and that does not.
I
a
love
good
being bored.
I'm gonna take
thing.
this toothbrush. I'm gonna clean all this grout.
I love being bored and hyper at work because that's when I get the most shit done. When
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't have to deal with customers.
Pretty much.
Well, the thing is, there's
It's like
not
the
that
only
much
chance
to
you
do.
have.
Yeah, my job, unlike yours, is we have things to do when there's no customers.
I mean, I guess I could sweep.
Yeah, fuck
But
that.
God.
I mean,
With a toothbrush.
or vacuum, but they're all slow
With a
things.
wait.
Everything is always slow.
I make the crew do
with
that.
a
It doesn't work.
with a toothbrush.
So hey everybody, it's Tuesday. I'm leaving all this in.
Okay.
I'm
cool with
September the 3rd. It's September now.
Guess what, guys?
that. Yeah, right.
Dude,
My
what's up?
birthday is Sunday.
I know.
I'm turning 22 whole years old.
Fuck. You want to do something Saturday?
How do
Or
we have-
You already have plans.
Nah, I work all weekend.
Fuck.
Fuck that.
I'm
Uh,
off Thursday and Friday, and I have that Monday off.
Keith and Dustin are here.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm RJ.
Present.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, okay. So wait, what are we doing to get you fucked up?
Oh, I don't know. We can do something Thursday night.
Casamata. No.
When do you work this week?
Tomorrow and Friday.
I work Friday as well.
Tomorrow.
But I mean,
tomorrow's Wednesday, right?
I mean, if you
Yes.
want to come by on your
Saturday
day
also.
off and help me move in,
Fuck you.
I know, right?
My days off are going to be spent exactly the way my days off are intended to be. Off.
Getting off,
Just naked.
Yeah, just naked. Fucking sprawled out on my bed, just staring at the ceiling.
spanking it.
Just in his own filth.
Spanking it.
And drunk.
And drunk.
Okay.
It may happen. I
That's
don't
what
know.
makes it a challenge.
Yeah, what makes my birthday this year
It's hard
difficult
mode.
is last year when I turned 21.
It's soft mode.
Last year when I turned 21, I didn't have a job.
Uh-huh.
So it was really easy to plan around getting unbearably intoxicated.
Oh,
sure.
yeah, well, and then I showed up.
Which, just made it worse.
Randomly.
It was weird. RJ's here.
Hey, you know what that means? It's almost been a year since we did the first one of these.
Whoa.
I mean, we don't have a year of these, but it's almost been a year since we did the first
No,
one of
dude.
these.
Dude,
No, it's definitely already
Slashplayed
been a-
anniversary party.
Slashiversary. We just cut
I
people.
was trying to cut that in somehow,
Yeah,
and
no,
I was
it
like,
doesn't.
"There's no good way."
No,
to
you
do
just
that.
have to say Slashplayed anniversary, and that's all
Right.
you can get out of
And-
that.
Whatever. Slashiversary.
Woo!
and a slash played. No,
Whatever.
Nope.
We'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
Anna versus slash played Surrey.
Oh my god. Just murder the English
Smoosh.
language anymore.
It's a smoosh.
It's a smoosh. It's not a smoosh. That is dumb.
That was like you diced it up and then went, I'm just going to mix these around a little bit and then...
Sewn back together wrong.
Yeah.
Back together wrong.
So
together.
back together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. We got it.
Wake up and make me a sandwich.
We were listening to some Death Clock earlier. It was
It's a great band.
well,
Yeah.
Brendan Small's a great person.
it's not as good as Snakes in a Barrel, but Death Clock's pretty good too.
Yeah.
Just saying, I don't want to have to kill you.
Right. Kill You is a great song.
Hatred Counter is also a really good song.
I tried to learn that song on guitar.
Oh yeah, is that how that song goes?
I tried to learn that
Make
song
some
on
noises.
guitar, and it's pretty hard, so I'm not going to try to learn that song anymore.
You should try and learn that first part on the drums.
I already know how to play it on drums.
You know that very first part, the intro to.
Oh, the intro to Kill You?
Yeah.
Fuck no. Pickles just goes ham. And I'm sure he breaks something.
It'd be phenomenal if you just learned it.
Oh,
Just to
yeah,
be
I
like,
just
yeah,
bust
fuck
out
you
one.
guys.
Yeah, like, because...
And then it's just psh, doom 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 doom. God, I would
so
lose my shit.
anticlimactic.
I would lose my shit if somebody did that at a concert. La 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 la.
All right, so Dustin, what have you been doing this week?
I have
I thought you said
been.
you were going to stop doing that.
I've been figuring
Stop
out.
doing what?
Hey, what have you been doing?
Let's
this
see,
week?
every single podcast, I really got to find a better way. What have you been doing this week? Find a better way!
Fuck it.
Build a better mousetrap.
No, I will
No.
not. I changed my mind.
I changed my mind.
Dude, you can't build a better mousetrap. You got the little, like, fucking cage thingy that goes all...
I played.
You just need to build dumber mice,
Yeah.
and
I
then
played
your
2
mousetrap
betas.
is just by itself better.
I played 2 betas.
Uh-huh.
I got into the Infinite Crisis beta.
Hey, I did too.
RJ did too.
Like today.
Today.
I still haven't gotten to the Hearthstone beta. I'm out for you, Blizzard.
And
Hey, me neither.
And I played the Elder Scrolls Online beta,
Oh yeah.
which I would have continued playing till my eyeballs fell out.
Okay.
I was really happy about it.
Probably literally all you can say about that too.
It was it is. But no, I was really happy by it. It very much is as of right now, even though they
Yo, is that an
shut
MMO?
everything down. Yeah, it is an MMO.
Do you have mana?
Yes. Yes, you do.
Are there hit points?
Yes.
Did you do a quest where you have to kill 10 of something?
I don't think so.
Well, game of the year. There you go.
MMO of the
I don't.
year.
I mean, I don't.
Multiplayer experience of the
I
decade.
don't. Maybe.
Man.
Sure.
Oh, never mind.
Nope.
It's fucked.
Like,
All right.
I mean,
We cannot confidently come
Right.
to this conclusion.
I don't remember. All I remember is I was very sucked in by the leveling system. It's
Uh-huh.
really neat.
Uh-huh.
okay.
And
Can we say anything about Infinite Crisis? Like, at all, do you think?
it's really early in the beta still. It's
probably
definitely really early. So
The number
I
of times I've heard
I can't
Dustin
even-
say it's really early makes me want to fucking puncture my own eardrums.
let's
so
let's
we're
just
gonna go
let's
with
just
it's
put
early.
it let's just put it this way. If this were releasing tomorrow,
I would,
not even remotely
but,
be anywhere near.
but
it.
hey, that's why we can't.
but that's
comment on
why.
it.
But that's why it's a beta.
I mean-
Beta.
I mean that's what they're doing.
Bug
They're-
report.
They're
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah. I mean
Well,
the combat was solid.
yeah.
It was just the the UI is obviously rough and all that stuff.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
I can see where they're going and they have a good concept.
We'll talk about it more when we're allowed to talk about it more.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't
They have a
even-
good concept.
I barely,
like it.
I barely have any inclination of any idea of what you guys are talking about.
It's a DC MOBA.
It's a DC
okay.
MOBA.
All right, that's enough for me to be
Yeah.
alright.
And it's based
Well,
on
That's
Crisis.
enough for me to go. That's enough for me to go. I might play this once.
To justify the
Yeah,
amount
once
of characters
until
in
you
it.
realize. Well,
To justify the amount of characters in it, it is based on Crisis and Infinite Worlds. Basically, just
Right.
kind of like Injustice was. And
Right.
and it's there's
Is it
just
pre
a lot
or
of
post
different.
Doomsday.
Yeah, there's just a lot of
I
different.
don't know.
A lot of I mean, Doomsday's in it.
Um,
Well, I meant like the Doomsday event.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, that didn't answer his question, but
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, it. What?
Did you do anything else? You just beat Saints Row 4. How's that?
Loved it. Absolutely phenomenal.
That dance sequence at the end is pretty good.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Solid.
For sure.
Solid
Solid.
4 out of 5.
I gave it like 3.98.
I'd give you
You're
like the
fired.
fattest part of my dick in your throat.
Well, based on the fact that
Which is roughly a 3.98.
There you
So
go.
there you go.
based off the fact I've never played the game before, what I've seen being played between you guys and the internet, I think I would enjoy the experience.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Saints Row 3 is still a better game.
It makes you laugh a lot.
I could see that.
And things that are actually genuinely entertaining are kind of fleeting.
I
these days.
think the parts that are, I think the high points of Saints Row 4 are still higher than the high points of Saints Row 3.
But Saints Row 3 is consistently high.
But Saints Row it is.
That's
it
a
is,
good way to put it.
It is
4 is more like high fever hallucination.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no. It's just it is.
What?
It is literally. Saints Row the Third is just a much more better rounded product because of the fact that the side missions and stuff that you do are still fun. The side missions and stuff in Saints Row the 4 are super boring.
I like
They're
how
pretty
you almost
repetitive.
said Saints Row the Fourth.
Saints Row the Fourth.
Yeah, I mean, the mayhem modes are kind of repetitive. I mean, very repetitive.
There's not enough fences.
Saints Row the
And there's not enough
Third. Saints Row the
fences.
Third had a lot of diversity in the stuff that you could do.
Yeah.
Saints Row 4 doesn't.
It uses a lot of the diversity in the main story.
Yeah.
Like, you go through a lot of different stuff in the main story
Yes.
that makes you really
Yes.
entertained as you play through it.
It kind of leaves. So,
And
Anyway,
if you manage to do what I did and kind of bounce through some of the side stuff as you're going through
well,
it,
that kind of leads me to a question.
it's a
though.
lot more
well,
entertaining than just
when,
grinding it all out.
When it comes to games, because I feel like listening to you guys talk about it, it's a very similar experience to. So kind of, you can't really talk about these games comparatively because the Metal Gear Solid series takes itself very seriously.
Okay, we're back to this.
Comparative to, well, it spawned a memory that I had when I first played Metal Gear Solid 4, because Metal Gear Solid 4 is, if you don't know a lot, I mean, it's still an
Sure.
enjoyable game if you're not completely versed in the Metal Gear Solid lore.
Yeah, if you're not down with the fiction.
Right. Okay.
Down with the fiction.
But they definitely dumped a lot of material in for fan service.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Do you feel like they did that a lot in Saints
No,
Row 4?
no. It definitely has one or two spots where it is like,
Because I know
hey,
there was that
here's
entire Stillwater
yeah,
sequence.
there's
I
a
mean,
straight up
there's
flashback,
there are quite a few
but
things that RJ is missing
But
because
I missed
he's not as versed in 1 and 2 as I am.
no, I played all of 2.
No,
Or
two-
1.
Yeah, it's
Two,
1.
yeah, 1. But from what I've heard, they don't really do that many callbacks. to
No,
one.
I mean,
No,
no.
not a whole
I mean,
lot. But
Benjamin motherfucking King has a very specific callback because he is from the first game and hasn't
Right.
been in the series since then. So
right.
if you're gonna do stuff with him and his memories, it kind of has to take place in that game.
Right.
So. Yeah, at that point it loses a little bit.
So
The Johnny Gat sequence does a little bit of
Oh man, that was so good.
of jumping back to some memories that if you didn't play the second one are probably lost on you.
So do you feel like, but with that
Actually,
overall,
that one was also referencing the first one, but then
Do you feel with the overall experience, you feel like the dev team definitely focused a lot more on just the continuity of the story and just kind of retrofitted all of the side stuff for this new image they're kind of doing?
I think
Because that seems like it would make it kind of stale.
I think that this was supposed to be a standalone expansion,
Yeah, a lot of
and-
people said it felt like that.
and
A really big standalone expansion.
well, yeah, and that's what it is, and
Well-
I think that's why it's got all that filler in there, and I think I've said this every single time.
yeah,
but,
it's things you can't take out because they're already.
but
gone.
yeah, if you can be like Dustin and not like me, who's a crazy person who has like 1,000 of the
He's got
100,
almost all of them.
255 of the collectibles
He's
collected
really close.
because a piece of candy.
that would be me. I would be Dustin in
And
this sense.
and
He
if you-
literally played my file for about 15 minutes and got about 100 of them.
like more like 140. You had like 9, and I left you with.
140.
Listen,
15 minutes.
Yeah, we played. that
And he
reminds
just
me-
goes, ooh, piece of
That
candy.
reminds me when we played Borderlands together, which kind of when we play like Borderlands and Diablo together, or if I play Borderlands and Diablo, I lean more towards RJ's. Where I basically when I play Diablo, I go from I hit the edge.
I'm
of the
here to
map,
see the whole map.
and then run around the edge of the map.
Yeah,
so
I
I have the
like- I like
entire
to do
map
that in Borderlands.
outlined, and then I run back and forth, like
Yep.
fill in the entire map
Yep.
on my mini map. But me and RJ were playing Borderlands 2 together, and we entered this one area, and he was like, "Hey, are you gonna go up here to the left? There's nothing back there, but I'm kind of a completionist, so."
But I kind of just do this for levels
yeah.
because
he's like, so we can go grind up there real quick, and I was like, fuck it, let's do it. But I feel like in a game,
no, I
like-
believe your response was yes. That's exactly what I was going to do anyways.
Because like as he was saying that, I was already like swinging left. Into But
I was
when
like,
it
oh, okay.
when it comes to games like Saints Row that have a much more, I don't know, because when it comes to, I guess it just has a different feel. They're both relatively free roaming.
Well,
games,
I
but
mean,
to
one is a loot driven farm fest, and the other is a story based open world
right.
game.
So like
They're very different.
Like
I
in
mean,
Re-
that's not taking away.
Right, right.
I'm not trying to take anything away from Borderlands 2 because I think that's a way better game than Borderlands 1. but-
Right.
Because
What-
I think Borderlands 1 is shit. But
Ooh.
yeah,
You just angered like all of the internet.
don't care.
That's because you're crazy.
Don't care.
That game was good.
Borderlands 2 is phenomenal.
Dude, he had it on PC. What do you expect?
Oh, right.
Borderlands 1 is
right.
shit.
The PC
That's
port was-
right. He has no concept of what a real game is on a console.
The PC port was hideous, though.
The PC port was bad. It was
no
very,
mouse
very bad.
control for your inventory. Like, what do you?
No, there was mouse control for it. There was mouth control for it.
There's
It
no
wasn't
mouth
drag
control
and
for
drop,
RJ.
though, was it?
No, but it wasn't that.
Yeah, which is terrible.
Well, yeah.
Terrible. If you're gonna do a loot-based if you're gonna do loot-based like loot fest inventory managing games,
Yeah.
you need a good mouse interface.
Yeah.
If you're gonna put it on PC.
But the interface is not the thing that made me upset. It was
Well-
the fact that they said, "Hey, we're gonna have a story. Hey, here's these characters," and then
Oh, you don't like to read, except you played all the way through.
Yeah, he
that one
doesn't
game.
like to read.
well, that was a well-written game.
Well,
Watch
These-
watch me fire more shots
the
over here.
expansions were good.
Watch me fire more shots over
Did
here.
you play General Knox?
No.
You should have.
Well,
You also should have probably read more. You probably skipped a lot of text you didn't even realize.
the main story was garbage.
hey, guess what? Guess
it
what?
was the
Borderlands
comedy
2
that
managed
was
to do. Borderlands 2 managed to tell me a pretty good fucking story without any of
So
that.
that-
Yeah, that's
reading.
because everybody was like, whoa.
Everybody, because a lot of people had the same criticism.
Hey man,
you
good for
did.
Gearbox. They learned their fucking lesson.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
had,
no,
they had
they
the
do.
same criticism that you did, but it didn't make them hate the game. I still played. I hated the fact that I had to read to get any lore.
Uh-huh.
I saw
I
many
read
hours
everything,
long.
'cause that's what I always do.
You're one of those guys that goes into a library in Oblivion and reads the fucking books.
I'm one of the guys who found the terminal in Halo.
Okay.
The original Halo.
Okay.
I played it on PC for all of. Like,
Ask me
20
what
minutes.
Halos I've played.
Exactly.
I played Halo Wars.
I played
I
all
did-
units.
I had it. I did own it. It was a bad thing.
I have it.
You still have it?
Yeah, I have all the games.
I might also still have it.
No.
Oh no, you
I
have
your
my copy.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Dude,
makes
I liked
way
Halo
more
Wars,
sense.
But then again, I'm kind of
All
a real-time
units.
strategy.
I would have liked it
Yeah.
way more if I had somebody to play with, and the one person I know that plays it, I
Well, that's
rarely
what-
see anymore.
That's what sold it. Like Hawks, when me and you used to play
Yes,
Hawks together,
right, yep.
it's a decent game.
I would never play that game by myself.
Yeah, but you'd never play it by yourself. The only reason why me and you beat that game
God,
in
we
like a
fucking-
week is because every night we're just like, play Hawks, and we're just like fucking flying around blowing shit up.
I really wanted to get Hawks too, just so we could do the same thing.
So I think if you played through Saints Row 4 and tried to and just did the side mission, so the one thing,
You
the one nice
kill
thing that
yourself?
the one nice thing that I can say about it is if they for a decent number of them, the side stuff gets you rewards. So if you are looking for a specific
Yeah,
reward, you
that's
can
a
go
valid
talk
point.
to somebody, pick
Yeah.
up a side quest, and just do those things and get that reward. So they do definitely incentivize it, but it is totally optional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
See,
I mean, there are different guns and different suits and different
When it-
things that you can gather.
Yeah.
when it comes to
Skills,
free
powers.
roaming gamies like that,
Mhm.
I start at quest 1 and stop playing at quest whatever.
And I still haven't touched any of the text adventures in the game.
God,
so
I meant to do that.
I might still be. I might
you might
still.
still have a couple hours left. in
Yeah,
the
I
game.
might still not. Well, let's not say. I might have like an hour because there's like 8 of them total, I think.
Oh.
But you know, I
But
might.
you have to find them first.
I may still not have seen some
gotta
of the
find
better
them.
parts of that game. So who knows? That game. But yeah, there are parts of that game that just made me fucking laugh like harder than a game has made me laugh in a long time.
And honestly, when it comes down to it for me, and the entertainment value of it was just so.
Even a pony made out of diamonds.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying.
Pony Made Out of Diamonds is pretty funny. The
God,
fact that it got named Butt
fucking-
Stallion is pretty funny. It is not as funny as Rowdy Roddy Piper.
The rods in that game.
Yeah, he is.
Sweet.
Yeah, no, it's. God, that game is.
He's
so
not as funny as the reveal where Rowdy Roddy Piper is involved in that part of the story.
Okay,
Because
so-
he's there for a part of the story. Also, nobody calls Roddy for help. He just shows up when he's needed.
As he ominously stares at the ceiling.
No, he heroically stares at the ceiling.
He ominously stares over his shoulder. Is how it is appropriately.
He heroically looks at the horizon and places his fists on his hips.
That's exactly what
and
happens.
Yeah.
puffs his chest out.
That's exactly what happens.
That's
The,
awesome.
Except it's Keith David that does that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
No, yeah, I think it's two different kinds of humor for sure. The
On a side note, this is vitamin C fortified.
Well,
No,
congratulations.
Yeah, huh?
kiwi strawberry.
You want to tell people what you're drinking on?
Drinking some Arizona kiwi strawberry drink.
You're coming over here with hella Arizonas recently.
Yeah.
You should try to leave less trash at my house.
No, I do this when I get a Red Bull.
Or at least in the trash.
chug
Or at
Red
least in the
Bull.
trash can.
I chug. it's not full this time.
You know
I can do
how
things.
long the purple drink was sitting there?
Probably for a while.
Yeah, like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I chugged a Red Bull in the car
Until
before
we
started
cleaned
this.
up.
Ting, ting, ting.
So you do anything else this week, Dustin? You beat Saints Row. 4 of 5.
Let's see. I mean, I played Dota for the first time in a couple of weeks.
Did you?
Yeah.
How was that?
Didn't suck. Didn't suck.
I don't
I was
believe
surprising.
you. Your lucky replays are broken right now.
Are they really?
Yeah, I think so. I'm
sucks,
pretty sure
yeah.
they're pretty fucking... Like, since the
I
international,
played
they've been
I played
broke
like
as fuck.
I played like a game, and I was kind of clutch.
Okay.
So I was happy about it.
I managed to ward trap someone in Shadow Shaman today for the first time in a long time, and that felt pretty good.
Yeah, that's nice.
He's got an ultimate that drops 8 wards,
I patched-
and if you drop them properly, you can literally drop them around someone and trap them in the middle of it,
Sweet.
and then just murder the shit out of them with your wards.
I patched Dota yesterday.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
I watched YouTube videos.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but
Was that anything else, Dustin, or should we just move on?
I think I don't think I got anything
You
else.
don't
I've been pretty excited about moving in 2 days. So
Yeah, we'll see how that happens.
well,
How
I
that
mean,
goes,
it's
you mean?
it's gonna
Nah.
it's gonna happen.
how that happens? I'm
gonna
pretty sure it's gonna
happen.
happen.
We'll see.
It's gonna happen.
Hey, wait, no, we totally went to Darren's birthday. We should talk about that.
Oh yeah.
We went out to this Italian restaurant, and I had one of the best pizzas I've ever had. in my entire life.
I had hands down the best pizza I've ever had in my entire life.
It's pretty great.
He didn't tell me about it until I was already off work.
We
And-
didn't get much word about it at the time either. We had no idea what this place was.
Yeah.
I called him. I was like, "So what?" Because I talked to what's her name?
Or what the function
Freaking,
was.
she went that night.
Sure.
Yeah, whatever.
Let's just go with that.
Savannah?
Yeah, her. I was talking to her, and she was just like, "Yeah, Darren's birthday party, blah blah blah. You're totally invited." And I was like, "Oh, really?" Because I haven't heard shit about it. So I called Darren when I got off work, and I was like, "So what's up with this birthday I'm very apparently invited to, but never heard about?" And he was like, "Oh yeah." And then he like gave like a fucking like sectioned list. He was like, "This is the name. This is where it is. This is the time. Blah blah blah." And I was
What time
like,
did he tell you?
He said they were leaving shortly to try to be there around 7:45.
Ha! Yeah, they got there at like 8:30.
They said to be there at 7 or 7:30. We got there at 7:10.
15.
15.
And hung out for an hour and a
And
half.
they didn't get there
Yeah.
until easily almost 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
We got a pizza, so fuck it.
And you know what else we did?
And again,
I realized that
Meat Lovers Pizza, one of the best pizzas I've ever had in my entire, probably the best pizza I've ever had in my entire life.
we know a couple of the people that work there, and one of the two was waiting on our table, and the other two's like a manager or something there. He also
so two people is one manager?
No, a manager and his wife.
Okay.
He might also be a clown that we know.
Oh, I know.
He might also be the clown that we know.
Yeah.
He totally set his wallet on
So-
fire in my store. The other day.
Why would you do that?
Well, because he has one of those like joke wallets that has like the lighter in it that sets it on fire.
Uh-huh.
And he just walked up to me and said, "You know what's bad about having money?" I was like, "What?" And he's like, "It burns a hole in my pocket." And he set his wallet on. I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
That's pretty good. So, anyways, there's like an ABC store like a block and a half from where this place is.
Sweet.
So, and they're
Knowing us.
and they're like $3. Their domestics were like $3 for like light beers.
Domestics.
And
$3.
so
Which, I mean,
I went
it's pretty
and
much the
and
standard
went to
around here.
went and walked to the ABC store and picked up friendly fifth and
It's good stuff.
And we just hid it under our table.
no, I brought it back and I was like, so look, I went to the ABC store and I was thinking I could just bring the bottle over here so that I could tip you more later instead of wasting my money on beer. And both he and his wife said to me, "I knew we liked you for a reason." So I ordered a Coke for Dustin and myself, and then we
And by Coke, he meant like a pitcher of Coke.
Yeah.
And
And it worked out
proceeded
well.
to become extremely inebriated.
pretty good.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I heard things kind of went south at the party afterwards, though.
Yeah, we weren't.
We didn't go to the
Yeah, I
party.
heard you guys didn't
Yeah,
go.
we-
Darren said it got really sketched and was just like, "Yeah, I'm peacing by."
Well, I don't believe in foam parties indoors, first of all.
Oh, dude, fun party indoors are fun.
Not when it looks like the only thing... Not when it looks like there was just like a bubble bath that overflowed.
Right. Darren
Like-
said it was pretty lame because it was like only up to like his dick.
Yeah, like when the Gypsy had their foam party, it was nuts because
Yeah.
foam was like up to the walls and it was like a tidal wave of foam, and you were like, "Fuck, I'm gonna drown!" And then you realize that the bubbles just pop when you touch them.
God, when
Man.
are they going to do that again?
I went to a phone party in
That's a good
Greenville.
question. I'm gonna have to talk. I'm gonna have to talk to our sweet ass DJ buddies and see when they're coming down again.
It's one club.
Hell yeah.
It was one club off of Reed Street, I think, in Greenville.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. They had a foam party once, and like their foam cannons, they had 4 of them on each of the 4 corners of the dance floor, and it was just like pouring fucking foam.
That's what you do.
So I was like rolling through this fucking foam and like grabbing ass and tits all the way through and shit. Nobody could see anything. It was not flashing lights, foam, and alcohol. Like we didn't fucking know what was
That's
going on.
what you do.
And it was pretty intense.
It's literally
It was
the
fun.
whole point.
Word. So, Keith, you do anything else?
Yeah, I'm in a band again.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I saw that you got the kickback.
Yeah, fucking ReverbNation.com.
Yeah, what about them?
A vessel silhouette.
A vessel
A
silhouette.
vessel's silhouette.
Okay, so
Possessive.
there's
No, it's possessive.
2 S's in a row.
No, I was over enunciating
A
because
vessel's silhouette.
Yeah.
No, I got that.
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm just saying
There's
two.
not 2 at the end of vessels.
There's
It's
2.
just a vessel's
There's 2 instances of 2 S's.
silhouette.
There's 2 instances
Yes.
of 2 S's.
So how long
That's
until we
the
get
one,
podcast
so-
music?
I mean, fucking now.
Good words.
but yeah, I'm super stoked about that because it's first band I've
I
done
also
in a
need
while.
like a 3-second sample that we can put in front of videos.
Okay. It's
I
gonna
was
be,
thinking
it's,
like
it's gonna,
shut-a-da-da-dun.
yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be metal.
Basically, what I'm saying is rip off the Darkstalkers like you opened a door noise. Shut-a-da-da-dun.
Friggin' but I'm super stoked about that because this is the first time I've played guitar in a band in a good solid like 3-4 years.
Wait, which means they have a decent drummer?
Greg.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's has issues
Are you
keeping
spitting
time.
on my floor?
No.
Okay.
He has issues keeping time. So I like
As like drummers do.
That's
Yeah.
kind of a bad
I
thing
never,
for a drummer.
Yeah, I've never had that problem.
No, you shouldn't.
but
That's literally a drummer's
but
only
I
job.
have a Greg stick. Every time we're practicing, I have on my amp. I stick an extra drumstick underneath my carry handle. So if he starts fucking up, I pull it out and throw it at him. And
That's called a tomahawk.
So we'll be like halfway through a song,
Like a
and then
hawk.
we'll be halfway through the song, and I start looking around, and T-Jack, our other guitarist, will be like, and I'm just like, I'm looking for my Greg stick. And then at the end of the song, I'll be like, I got you next time. Put my stick on it, and a good group of guys. Like the bassist is really quiet, which throws me off because I talk a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I noticed.
And
Go on.
go.
Yeah.
So like we'll be in practice, and like Greg's pretty outspoken like I am.
Uh-huh.
He's not as funny as I am.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Fuck
So
that guy.
Wouldn't know.
so I'll be so me and him will be just shooting the shit back and forth, and you know T-Jack, the guitarist over there, kind of chuckling. He's a little quieter too, but he has a sense of humor and stuff like that. And Buddy will just be like staring at the floor, and I'm just like, hey. And he's just like,
Man just wants
what?
to play bass.
And so literally, I single him out for an entire practice most of the time, where I just stand right next to him the entire time we're playing a song.
Just
It's this
stare at him.
creepy ass fucking smile. And like I'll make bassist jokes, be like the prototypical stuff, like who cares about the bassist? Nobody hears him anyways. And I'll start jabbing him viciously with my elbow. And
That kid's gonna kill himself.
Just
and
wait
it's
till
gonna
he
be all
busts
your
out the
fault.
white lines.
But and then one day I told, while we were writing a song, I was just like, I want a wicked ass bass solo, and he was like, I can't do that. I was like, fucking learn.
Figure it out.
Yeah, so like, he's completely opposite of me personality wise. So I mean, it works. He's a nice guy, but yeah, definitely check out our stuff. It's good.
Send me a link. I might put it in the. I might attach it to the video.
Yeah, if you, okay.
I'll think about it.
ReverbNation.com/
Some.
Vessel Silhouette.
Some.
I'll write it down for you.
Anything else going on?
It's called. It's just metal. I don't even know what that is. What are you doing?
Dude, you have 30 seconds before we have to start paying for stuff. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
No, this is a cover. This is protected under fair use policies.
Anyways.
Yeah. But okay.
I just
I
want him
found-
to shut up.
I found this game
Oh, yeah?
called Cookie Clicker.
Bullshit.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, this game called Cookie Clicker. I was up till like 3:30 in the morning. Literally clicking a cookie.
How high were you?
I wasn't.
What was the reward?
You get cookies to buy upgrades to get more cookies. It's one of those games.
I'm so confused. Okay, tell us about.
I'm gonna
this
break
cookie
it down
clicker.
for
I'm
you.
stopping this podcast.
I'll break it down for you. There's a big cookie at the left side of the screen.
Why did you do that?
And you just start frantically clicking it, and that's how I found out I can click like 63 clicks a second, or a minute, rather.
Yeah, I was gonna say a second's kind of impressive.
Because about halfway through the
turbo
minute,
button on that mouse.
about halfway through the minute, I start like my arm gets tired and stuff like that. But yeah, you just click the cookie.
You hear that, ladies? It only lasts a minute. Man.
Sure do.
And then his arm gets tired.
Sure do. That's actually more for the fellas.
But it's an arm.
Fellas.
You didn't hear it. It's an arm.
Wow.
But it takes about a minute and it gets tired.
Thanks for that, Dustin. Let's.
There's a big cookie on the left side of the screen.
Yeah, sure.
You click it and you get a cookie. Your cookies are your currency.
Okay.
You get like 10 cookies. You can buy a cursor that automatically clicks the cookie every 10 seconds, and you get another cookie. So you just buy up, and soon you get like a cookie factory and some grandmas that help you make. Basically, right now I still have it running at the house because you get actually a cookies per second production. Right now I'm at like 13 million cookies per second.
Is this just fucking like Candy Quest or whatever that thing was?
Candy Crush.
No.
There's
There's a different game that came out where it is you have candy and you can either spend the candy on stuff or you can throw the candy on the ground. But
Well,
that's
I
like
know you can't throw the cookies on the ground.
But that's like the first part. But then you get candy, and after you get a certain amount of candy, you can start getting lollipops, but you can plant the lollipops, and the lollipops are a different currency.
Seems pretty similar.
Okay.
Except
there's no clicking. It's you level your stuff up and you go on quests, and by quests I mean your dude walks from one side of the screen to the other and fights stuff.
Cool.
I think this game is better than yours.
Yeah, it sounds better than mine.
I'll go try and find it again.
Okay. Like I got home from work because I left it running.
Try and find my save that's probably got like 10 bajillion candy at this point. I might be able to finish that game.
I left it because my production before I went to work was like 11 million cookies a second.
Uh-huh.
So I went to work and then came home from work after an 8-hour shift and I had like 337 trillion cookies.
Uh-huh.
And so
you do.
So I started like spam buying more stuff to make more cookies. So now sitting here at the moment, I have like 15 million cookies a second production. So when I go home, I'm going to have even more cookies because I didn't spend any of the cookies minus what to get it up for that little bit. So I still have like a really large chunk of cookies. What I'm trying to say is...
I think we need to hold an intervention.
Is that this is another example of really, really boring fucking games that I find unbearably enthralling.
Oh, then you would love the side quest in Saints Row 4.
But I did a lot
Yo, they give you superpowers.
Yeah, superpowers are cookies.
I do fucking love cookies.
I do love cookies.
Fucking animals. Okay, so I remembered a game that you need to talk about.
Yes.
Papers, Please.
Right, Papers, Please. That's another one of those fucking games.
Hey, dude, that game's not boring. You fucking
no.
watch your words.
No. It's one of those. It's a monotonous task.
Yes.
That is engaging because, well, Papers, Please is engaging. For
It's kind of monotonous. There's enough like
variance,
rules and shit that you have to pay attention to.
For anybody that doesn't know, Papers, Please is basically you are in a Russian stand-in.
Eastern European country.
A faux Eastern European country who just opened their borders during the Cold War and are letting immigrants in.
Arstosia or something.
Arstosia,
Yeah, it's like 1986 or 82 or something
and,
like that.
You're just opening the borders, and you are the border guard. You're the guy stamping passports.
You have been assigned a job by the government, I believe, or you won
communism.
You won the job lottery or something.
Because communism.
You'll be assigned a Class 8 dwelling.
Right, and that's basically the game. That's the base mechanic. They throw other things in, like a reason stamp if you decline people, and then they have to have traveler visas.
Do they have a reason stamp?
Yeah, when you get to a certain point in the game, if you deny somebody, you have to stamp their passport with the reason as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, by the end of the game, by the time I got to the end of the game, I was stamping like 3 shit, had like fucking 5 papers out of
Can only get through like 2 people in a day.
Yeah, no, by the time you get to that game, you're really fucking good at stamping passports.
Grandparents and child were dead. Frozen.
But there's a large number of endings to this game.
Yeah, I've heard that. Depending on how you go through it.
Right. The one ending I've gotten I've gotten 2.
I wonder if there's a special ending just if you let the guy from Cobra stand through. The guy who shows up first time is like, oh, I don't need passport.
Right. Yeah, that dude, when he finally got all of his paperwork in order, I was just like, yes! Thank you, God!
Does he actually finally?
Yeah, he finally gets all of his paperwork in order. I was like, dude, you You are the most resilient motherfucker on the face of the earth.
Because he shows up on like day 2 or 3 and is just like, I don't have a passport. I don't need a passport. This is a great country. I don't need a passport. And like, no, you totally need a passport.
And
it's like, oh, okay, I'll come back tomorrow with a passport.
And then he comes back a couple of days later with
like
a passport like drawn in crayon.
Yeah, that says like Cobra-Stan on it. Guess what? Cobra-Stan, not one of the countries. Literally has a cobra on the front of it as its logo.
Cobra-Stan.
Not a country.
And I was just like...
And it just says, pre-approved okay.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
That game, like, what really drives that game, though, is the narrative.
The really best part about that is the first day, you literally can't let him through because you don't have anything to stamp.
Right. Yeah, it's just like, you basically have to set an inquiry on the desk in front of you saying, where's your shit? And you're just like, I don't need it. Yeah. And you're just like, get the fuck out of my business. But over time, and what's great about this game is taking a task as, let's say, monotonous as being a border guard, and wrapping a really engaging narrative around it.
Yeah, even the little bit that I saw.
Yeah,
because I played like the beta to like day 4 or 5 or something.
Yeah, and it got to a point where like you're making like moral decisions. Like this one chick came through and was like, "Hey, I don't have the right papers, but you got to let me through." Or no, she was like, "I have all the right papers, but please deny me." Because if you let me go through, I have a feeling this dude's gonna put me into basically sex labor.
Right. And then there's
and then he's gonna kill me.
Yep.
But if I deny her, I get
a strike against
penalty.
you. Yep.
But if I approve her, she dies.
Yeah.
So that's one of those, and it makes you make these moral choices. You got to sacrifice maybe a couple bucks for your family to help out these other people.
And another one that
it continues to build and build and build until you start having relationships with these people, and they don't even fucking know who you are besides you're your guy behind the cage thing. It's so.
And the other one that I know that I saw was like a husband and wife come up, and the husband comes up and is like, "Here's all my papers. I have all my shit in order. My wife doesn't.
Yeah.
Please let her through. She's coming up next." I sent her ass back.
On my first playthrough,
go home.
On my first playthrough, I let her go through, but that was my fourth penalty for the day. No, it was like my 5th. So I actually got fired and put in prison. I was just really off that night. But that was the first ending I ever got, was because of that bitch. So what's great about this game is for your save file, you have this long linearity of days, as like day 1, day 2, day 3. You can pick any of the days, click on it, and it'll branch a new save game off of it.
Wow.
So you can literally farm all the other endings without having to start at the beginning.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So I went to that day, and as soon as she came up, I was like, "Fuck you, bitch! Get out of my booth! You got me fired and put in prison."
In an alternate timeline.
But there was one part, it was kind of a tearjerker moment, because, slight spoilers, your niece or something, her mother dies, your sister dies, and she either has to come live with you, which costs more money,
right,
or she gets sent to an orphanage. And I couldn't afford it. So I had to send her to an orphanage, because it's like $100 to adopt her.
Jesus.
So I sent her to an orphanage.
Funds are tight.
Yeah, and then the next day I got a letter that she died. She, got, serial murdered or some shit in this orphanage, and I was like, oh my god, I feel like a dick. I could have went without food and heat for one day.
So what you're saying is human life is worth at least $100?
According to the communists.
Oh, okay. To be fair, these are like $1982, so it's actually like $1 billion.
Right. But
a lot of dollars.
I was so perplexed because I watched a lot of the beta footage and it got me interested in it. And then when it actually got a full release and then it hit the Steam sale,
and then it was $10, and I looked at it and I went, maybe honestly, not $10, maybe $5.
Yeah, I got it on sale for $5.
Well,
it was a weekend. But honestly, now having played it and having played it so much, I would pay $10 for it. It's so well written. If you can get around the monotony, but the monotony becomes engaging because you start feeling out these people. Of course, a lot of them are just hey go or hey leave, but then you start getting the interesting stuff,
right?
And it just makes you want to keep doing it.
Right.
You're excited for the next day. Yeah, they're going to throw another rule on it, make your job more difficult, but you never know who's going to come through the gate.
That is a game about bureaucracy.
It's so good. It was so good. I was so blown away.
Did you see me in it?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
I submitted my name.
To be in the actual game, yeah.
You might see me in there.
Maybe.
Let me into the country, goddammit. If I'm not a terrorist, I promise.
If I had to recommend this game,
You would?
Yeah, even if I didn't have to, fuck it. Like, who am I kidding? This game, it's phenomenal.
Uh-huh.
Especially for people that want to find an engaging experience that'll burn hours of time
Yeah.
that don't have a super high-end PC.
Yep.
This game will run on anything.
Yep.
It's fucking pixel-based graphics, and like even the screens of like people's faces and stuff are very pixelated and stuff like that, which kind of makes it difficult when identifying people, but that also makes it more difficult. It makes the game harder.
Right.
Like it'll run on anything. So if you're looking for something that like you have a low-end PC, or even if you're just not a big PC gamer and you want something to burn a lot of time, this is not something that really this is not something that you have to have a gamer's mind to appreciate.
Right.
And it was really cool. Another game along those lines is I completely forgot. Never mind.
Good job. You do anything else?
Let's see. I worked a lot.
Okay.
That usually happens.
So no.
No.
Okay.
Although it was interesting because today we had our RDM meeting, which is our big managers meeting.
Haven't had one of those talked about on this podcast yet.
Really?
Only every week.
Only every week.
Yeah. Because every Tuesday we have them.
Hey everybody. Fuck.
But sudden this white dude wearing this like light blue polo and blah blah blah. He was came in and like
sits down at your manager table and pretends like he is a manager for like 5 whole minutes before anybody else realizes it.
That would have been a better story.
God, that would have been
Thanks for killing my story.
No, sorry.
But this dude comes up and orders like 2 coffees, and just like he's like looking at them and inspecting the coffees and shit like that.
And he just pours them down his pants.
Stop ruining my story. Your stories are so much better. But suddenly one of the chicks working front counter calls for a manager. So one of our managers gets up to go talk to this dude, and all of a sudden we see him walking behind the counter. And we're all just like, all of the managers just like swing our heads over and just like, the fuck, dude, what are you doing? Starts like fucking looking at our coffee. And the manager that was sent up there was just like, he's from S&D, and all of us except for our district manager was like, we don't know who the fuck that is. And the district manager was like, oh, he's fine. We're just like, dude, he's like pulling our coffee machine off the wall. He's like, no, that's his job. It's like, so this dude's job literally is to go to McDonald's, purchase coffee, test the coffee, and then tell us how we're fucking it up. He is so good at his job that last time he came in, he got like an iced mocha, and he was like, they used 5 pumps of chocolate instead of 6 in this. And we were just like, how do you know? It's like, just doing my job, man.
Because
like,
you sucks.
You were like the superhero of coffee taste testers.
It's ridiculous.
And but he was just like, yeah, you guys are pre-staging your coffee. That's bad. Blah blah blah. There's nitrogen in these bags to make it fresh. And blah blah. I was like, why do you know so much about coffee?
So basically, what he's saying is, you guys are setting up your coffee to be made when somebody.
Yeah, when somebody goes, hey, I want coffee, we just hit a button. But yeah,
fucking up, son.
Yeah, the managers keep telling them not to do it, but they keep doing it in the morning because we go through a lot of coffee. You know?
Yeah.
But and sometimes crew just doesn't listen. But it just blew me away because this dude, nobody knew who he was except for our store manager and our district supervisor because they've met him before. None of the other managers knew what the fuck he was doing. Suddenly he's walking to the back of our store. Yeah. And then come to find out, he was like, oh, well, because what happened is his iced mocha was in a hot cup with like 2 or 3 cubes of ice in it because one of the chicks working front counter wasn't entirely sure how to make McCafe drinks. And so he walked to the back to make sure we had the right product to make iced coffees and iced mochas. And we were just like, dude, go away. Because what ended up happening is he stood there at our round table where we have our meeting and was just like making this really awkward conversation where he was just like, yeah, I can tell anything about coffee, blah, blah, like really forced conversation. And our store manager was like, yep, okay, nice to meet you. You can just go to the back and do whatever you do. Like
Rain Man.
Making it very obvious that we're trying to finish this meeting.
Definitely 5 pumps, not 6. Definitely 5 pumps.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Definitely 5 pumps.
Definitely 5
She was making it very obvious that she wanted this guy to go do whatever he needed to do
and get the fuck out of the store
because we were trying to have our meeting.
Right.
And the good thing about that meeting though is it was pretty long. So by the time the meeting was over, and then I had to go to Burgal. And then by the time I got back, it was like 6 o'clock. So I only had like 3 hours left of my shift.
Nice.
Yeah, that was pretty nice.
It was like the most entertaining part of your day. It sounds like.
The most, yeah, that dude, and because anytime you have a meeting with our district manager, she finds the silliest shit to talk about, and then talks about it for like an hour. Like one day at one of our RDM meetings, we talked about coupon clipping.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I believe I brought that up.
Yep, made it on the podcast.
Yep. And then today, what was it today? Today was about our company picnic. We talked about the company picnic for probably about 45 minutes. And it's like, I get it. Go to Ogden Park and have the picnic.
Hey, what day and time should we go to your corporate picnic?
2026 of Revember, new month.
By then, Nebuary?
The 38th of Nebuary.
There will be a Nebuary and a Revember.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Because we add one like every year.
Anything else, Keith?
Totally had one every year. No, I think that's about it.
Okay. So...
Oh! I'm kidding. I do have things to talk about.
Cunt. We'll figure it out.
No, I do.
Also, I should pick what swear words I use on this podcast.
Cunt's kind of harsh.
Yeah.
Nah.
Sort of pushing it.
Nah.
So the dude living next door to me moved out, and he left some stuff. One of which is a fucking sweet ass pitcher.
RJ's new favorite thing in the world.
Got cold water finally.
Sweet.
Pretty into it. Pretty into cold water.
He's really fucking into it.
He also left like some pots and some Tupperware, so that's useful.
I'm pretty sure I turned away and he was like, "Fucking cold ass water."
Just spanking it.
Oh!
Spanking it's made it twice into this podcast.
Good.
Well,
there you go.
Probably won't be the last time.
So you guys,
this one podcast.
Have you? I'm sure you guys have heard about it, but have you guys seen the 2DS yet?
Yes.
Have you seen the 2DS yet?
I believe my immediate response was, "Go home, Nintendo, you're drunk."
My immediate response was like, "This is what it looks like if Fisher-Price makes a handheld."
Oh my god!
Because they've done it. And it
like,
why
not? I mean, I wonder if they were just in such a spot where it was like, well, we made a DS and it folds, and we made a 3DS and it folds. We can't go back to a thing that folds and is like this, but doesn't have the fuck it, make it flat.
I don't play a DS flat though.
We 40,
like half of the world.
40.
You can't make it operate through time.
We can't make a 4DS.
Nope.
No, it's
nope.
What? No, the four.
I'm not gonna. We're not gonna sit here and talk about fourth dimension theory because I could probably describe it and it'd take entirely too long.
But I mean, you just some games you start in the middle of the game. You've already got a save file. It's already got the name you wanted. You don't know how the fuck it happened. You've got enough technology now to where that could happen.
You know why? Because butt sex. Anyways,
the end of the game. You're just at the end of the game.
So,
well, I mean, what you would have
4DS.
to do there is you'd have to make a game that starts on release date, and as soon as release date happens, all of the cartridges just run, and they just sync up.
That already
and
happens.
Then guess what? If you're not with it, you're behind.
You ever bought a used like Game Boy Advance game? And there's already like a completed.
Oh yeah,
there's
sure.
already a completed game save,
or any old cartridge. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, done. Fourth dimension.
Yeah.
But yeah, that thing looks real dumb.
Yeah. What kills me about it though is my theory.
Because you know what the great thing about the great thing about the DS is that they finally designed something that fucking protects that screen. Because guess what? It just closes.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? They're going back and they're saying, "Nah, that's not good enough."
That's stupid.
Why have this really smart and like sleek design? Why not like have this thing that's probably gonna rest on the buttons, because if the buttons are like flush with it, it's doubly retarded. Yeah, I don't know.
You know what? You know my theory on that though.
Does it?
So the when they did the 3DS XL, a lot of the launch models had squeaky hinges, so they're just like fuck it.
No, I mean it's primarily.
That's my theory. That's the only thing I can think of.
Well,
it's
okay,
fucking stupid.
So there was something to do with
no more squeaky hinges.
So I think
the whole thing's flat.
The reason Amazon like doesn't sell Nintendo stuff anymore, I think, is because of a hinge problem. Like they were just breaking or something, so they weren't holding properly in place. So I could see that as being a reason, but I mean the biggest reason is just to take the 3D out so that they don't have to put that amount of screen cost into it.
Yeah, and what kills me is I was reading a lot of people that when it was first...
But it seems dumb.
When it was first being talked about before anybody saw it, there's like, that's a really good idea. Because I know a lot of people that play 3DS with the 3D turned off.
Well, I mean... And
a lot of people, it gives them motion sickness, and it hurts their eyes.
Yeah.
I can only play... personally, I can only play with the 3D on for about an hour.
And it's like kids
then I
under
get
7 or 8 are just
Damages
not
their eyes,
yeah,
yeah.
just straight up like not supposed to
Right.
experience
So,
3D because their brains aren't fucking ready for
Right,
it.
and it's a good idea. It really is,
Yeah.
because now people can appreciate their 3DS games without having to pay the extra $50 it takes to have a screen they're never going to use.
Yeah.
But then I saw it, and I was just like, that looks like a Frisbee.
Also, 2DS is a fucking
It looks more
horrible
like a
name.
Game Gear.
Microsoft already did it.
Looks like a Game Gear?
Just a really big Game Gear.
Well, no, not even...
It's bad when something's
no.
bigger than the Game
No,
Gear.
I mean, not even that. I mean...
The 3DS XL is already not portable enough. Granted, it was kind of designed to be
Yeah,
that.
it's this big fucking square thing. Like, where are you gonna
Yeah.
put that?
But
It's-
now,
it's
but
just a
now,
Ain't nobody
taller-
got pants for
it's
that.
a taller Game Gear.
Yeah, let's take the
It's-
idea of a portable gaming system and completely remove half of its selling points.
It's like a
Yeah.
Nintendo... It's like the Wii U's controller.
But you're not
But it's
expected
thicker,
to carry that around
but
in
it's
your pocket.
thicker,
No, it's
and
actually
then it's got...
thinner.
Than the controller of the Wii U?
It tapers. It tapers up. It starts thin and tapers up.
Dude, this is Nintendo. You had such good design there for a while. You
Oh,
were
I
like, we're gonna rip
see.
off Apple and their designs, and now
No.
you're back to fucking up again.
No, yeah.
It's
This
fucking.
is-
It's
There's
garbage.
nothing good about this.
It's what. And another thing that I saw is if you look on the pictures, all the button positioning,
Which I am, currently.
all the button positioning are about halfway up the actual system.
Nintendo does not need another device to lose them money. They've already got enough of those.
I agree with that.
They don't need another
I mean,
one.
I mean, the buttons and the stick are just over halfway up. It's close
which
enough
they had to do that
the
'cause of
shoulder
the shoulder
button.
buttons.
I was gonna say it's close enough to the shoulder button so where it makes sense.
But at the same time,
But at the same
like-
time, you can't use the D-pad and the shoulder buttons. It would be
But
ridiculous.
I mean, the other nice thing about the the fact that the 3D and the 3DS and the DS and everything fucking folded is that you had those two screens at those angles, whereas this is a flat thing, right?
Yeah.
So there's no bend to it to
No.
like help for that. So you
you're
might just
You're playing a tablet. Like,
Yeah,
it's
you-
like if you were gaming on a tablet with two screens and a lot of stupid stuff.
I don't know.
But what kills
I do know, and the answer is no.
Right. One of the defining features of the 3DS, and it was a pushing point with 3DS, was Street Pass.
Uh huh.
Okay. You take, like, especially with the original 3DS, which wasn't nearly as big as the XL.
Right.
If you put it asleep on Street Pass, stick it in your pocket, you pass people, you switch friend codes.
Right, and it
all that
worked.
stuff.
It worked like for 2.5 or 3 hours before the battery died.
Right. But it worked.
Uh huh.
You try Street Pass with something about the size of your fucking face, and
Yeah.
try sticking that in your pocket. Like, you're just gonna be walking around
Like,
with your Street Pass, like,
do we-
holding it like a fucking book.
Do we know how big this thing actually is?
No, it's. I would say about.
No, it's not gonna be that fucking big.
No, it is that
It's
big,
this big.
dude. It has.
That seems closer, right?
it's this big.
No, look up pictures of it with somebody holding it.
I was. That's what
It's literally like this, and then it rolls down. Like,
I'm-
it has the same screen dimensions as the XL, and the XL's already.
Also,
plenty
us saying
fucking
like this and like
No,
this is
no,
not
I was
very.
Once we settled on an actual size, I was going to give an actual
Okay.
like
big.
closer
I
measurement.
would say it gives a good
But-
like 4x6.
But I'm showing a full hand almost all the way around it.
Uh huh.
So that's a bit overstated.
I don't know, man. Yeah, it seems like a huge. It seems like it's
okay.
gonna be another huge mistake.
It's,
Here, hang
it's
on, I
pretty
got it right
dumb.
here.
It's pretty dumb. Like,
And unless honestly Nintendo is making 100% profit on these things, yeah, that's pretty big.
I mean, it's big.
yeah, it's like
It's
holding a
big, but-
chunky piece of plastic in your
It's
hand.
big, but I would say
it's probably like original 3DS.
it's about
size.
5 inches tall,
No,
and
I
it's
would
a
say,
square.
I would say take the 3DS XL and just lay it flat.
Yeah,
And that's
I
what
mean,
you
very
got.
much. It's exactly.
But the 3DS XL, it was already. I get the point of the XL. They
Uh-huh.
did the same thing with the Lite,
Right.
like bigger screens
Yeah.
and all that
Yep.
fun stuff. But that for me is too big.
Yep.
Weird thought.
Even
The XL shoulder buttons are like on the base of.
on the base,
The back,
under
right?
the hinges, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, these shoulder buttons are on the top of the top screen.
Yeah.
That is going to make your whole playstyle incredibly different than using a 3DS.
I don't understand where you're coming from.
Like, you're holding it way up here and looking down. You're, like, looking down at the second screen instead of,
No,
instead
see-
of it being kind of
See,
centered.
I don't think that would bug me as much because I had both original DS and a PSP, and the transition between the two is pretty much
Hey, you know why it's not going to bug
Flip
me?
and flop because you don't play portable systems.
Well, that's part of it, but also because I would never fucking buy one of those things.
Because you only play PC
If it folded,
ever.
what pisses me off is if it fucking folded, I would have bought one.
I bet if it folded, it increases their manufacturing costs, and then they'd
But
bitch mode
one
about
smart
stuff.
thing they're doing with the 2DS is it launches the same day as the new Pokemon.
Yeah,
Pokemon is the driving portable title.
That's-
It's their driving portable title.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's great about the new Pokemon is the whole thing's rendered in 3D. The whole thing. Not
You mean in polygons,
well, it's still 3D.
but it is.
But
Well,
not,
I'm not talking about no, but it is because it's also on the 3DS.
But we're saying it doesn't.
That's two different.
All right, we're moving on.
Yeah, it's polygon.
Okay, it's polygonal.
Yeah.
I played some more Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
How you getting into that?
I'm like it says I'm 32% of the way through it.
Okay.
But that probably includes collectibles.
It does.
It definitely does.
But I'm probably still a third of the way through it.
because you
storyline.
collectible everything.
I saw where it started getting
Kind of dark.
mystical.
Oh, mystical.
Not Mr. Cow.
Not Mr. Cow.
Okay.
We were not.
Glad we need to
can't.
clarify.
I can't pull a mystical song that fast. I'm sorry. I failed. I
I'm
failed. at
glad.
this.
I'm really glad.
I failed
that
at this.
I was trying to think of mystical lyrics. I was
Nope.
like, oh my god, quote
Nope,
something.
shut
so
up.
I just went straight
Nope.
for it.
No.
Not gonna happen.
That game's still a lot of fun. I can climb craggy walls. I can shoot rope arrows.
Tomb Raider's one of the few female characters besides like Princess Peach.
You mean
Samus.
Lara Croft?
Yeah, Lara Croft, the Tomb Raider. Doesn't she do that? Raid tombs occasionally?
Occasionally.
Always.
Oh.
Except now the tombs that you
That's
raid
her
are
shtick.
optional. They're optional.
Well,
They're
you're
listed as
technically,
they're listed
you're
as optional.
technically raiding a tomb the entire time.
No, actually, you're not.
Well, not the entire
Yeah,
time.
it's a jungle
but a
game.
chunk of it.
No, it's very jungly.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's an island.
Well, but
Have you played the game?
Never mind. RJ's not but a third of the way through the game.
Anyways,
No,
The-
I saw a Let's Complete of that game. There's not much tomb raiding to be had.
I mean, not in the grand scheme of, like, the old stuff. I mean, the old stuff was very much, you're in a tomb. You're raiding this tomb. But this is, like, more...
Jungly.
No, I was going to say more, like, natural. More, fluid. It's like, you're on an island.
Yes.
And the island is the tomb.
no,
Yes.
whatever. It's a reboot, so I guess she
The
hasn't-
island
They can
the
do whatever
island
they
is the
want.
tomb. Because of all the dead ships.
That's
You're still... It's still a tomb. It's just not a conventional
it's a graveyard. Tombs and graveyards are different.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not well, yeah, sure. Graveyards don't have as much treasure.
No.
Tombs have lots of treasure.
Tombs are
there are lots of treasure on this island.
Tombs are enclosed.
All of those words were weird.
Shut up. So I've done
Temple Run.
I've done 2 of the optional tombs so far,
Uh-huh.
and the best part about the first one is it's like, hey, you should go over here. It was like the tutorial
Yeah,
one,
right.
And then the second one that I walked past, I was walking up to it, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this because there's giant fucking white paintings on these walls that say, hey, there might be something over in this area. And then I got close to it, and it went, "Wow," and like shook my controller, and a thing popped up and went, optional tomb nearby, and I was like, you mean this opening that's like 2 feet to my left? That like I almost fell into because you almost shook my controller so hard that it forced me to walk to the left? Is that what you're telling me? Okay, maybe I'll go do that.
They don't get necessarily
subtle.
They don't get necessarily harder to find, but
Fuck.
but you will have to have
This tomb needs some loving. It hasn't gotten any in a while. It's like, please, oh God, somebody just pay attention to me.
You just lay back and spread your legs. I'm
God.
not gonna play you. It's not gonna
Raid
happen.
me.
Pretty much.
But
I'm gonna go raid.
speaking of controller
nap.
rumbly, as another interesting hardware note,
Uh-huh.
you guys have heard about the rumble servos in the new Xbox controller, right?
The fact that they're in the triggers.
And they're in the everything of the controller. And they're
Yeah.
all like individually stimulated.
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
tech demo. A tech
That's
demo
the
for
way I
it
like
was you
it.
held it in your hands and it simulated a heartbeat, and it was just like clump, clump.
Interesting.
Oh God,
So-
that's
so-
so cool.
so- the thing about that I think is I think it's cool that they are putting Rumble independently everywhere. I think it would have been cooler because there's
I
there's
think it's just gonna break a lot faster when people throw their controllers.
well sure there's
a lot of
so there's
14-year-old
Rumble in the
Call of
triggers
Duty
now, but what there isn't is proper like tension. Like if they had it where like you were pulling a trigger, and as you pulled
Right.
back on it, it actually applied more pressure.
Right.
It doesn't
And
actually
then when
do
you
that.
got
It
to
is either an on or an off,
Right.
not a like
Yeah,
proper force
that would be
feedback.
cool.
That would be
Like,
really cool.
If anybody ever fired a gun, like when you get past that point of action and the hammer releases, the trigger just gives.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That would be
That'd
really
be so
fucking cool.
awesome.
Let's make our murder simulators more real, you guys.
Shut.
I agree. No, I'm with you.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
totally.
But
I also that's the only reason I was ever behind.
See,
the
then
Kinect,
we
is
can
because
then we
because
can,
I really like the idea of just like pulling the pin and throwing the grenade.
so we can put out like
But that's
hammer
just me being a kid.
peripherals for when you're playing Wild West games and you're dual wielding, and you can like pull them back, and if after you pull them back to a certain point, they'll hit the right or left bumper, and then they'll cock properly, and then you can pull the.
you know, a really
Let's go make video games, you guys.
you know an
Let's
interesting.
go make video game peripherals.
You know what would have been really an interesting use, like an idea like that would be like a rail shooter for the PS3 if 6-axis didn't suck.
Oh man,
Well,
And then-
sure.
And then like you use the 6-axis to aim,
Or
and
they
then
just
you
put
got
it. I mean, they just put out better move controllers.
hammers and
Boom.
guns. True. Or the Kinect could stop
Ha!
being terrible.
If
They
the
could
Kinect could give me
Give
force
force
feedback,
feedback.
then maybe they'd have some.
That-
Oculus
yeah.
Rift.
I really don't want force feedback on my eyeballs. I don't want that.
Well, apparently, according to a lot of,
6-axis
like
motion plus.
people that have like the dev kits and shit like that,
Uh-huh.
like the developers are just like, when you first start playing the Rift, you need to be seated. You need to be seated
Uh-huh.
because it's apparently it's so because they have like this. They have stereo vision and sound. It's two parallel offset images
Uh-huh.
to recreate natural depth perception.
Right.
And then they have like the completely encased and like
Yep.
the screens wrap into your peripherals and then like the stereo sound and stuff like that. And basically the way they're trying to simulate the virtual reality is they're trying to trick all of your senses
Yep.
by overloading them.
Yep.
And apparently there's a lot of people that are saying it works.
Yep.
Like works really fucking well. So right now, Hawken, that badass fucking mech shoot 'em up, is now working.
That mech shoot 'em up.
I thought it was fun
So-
for like 4 hours. They're
Virtual Boy 2,
Yeah. I mean,
Electric Boogaloo.
So that's been the. Shut up. You don't get to do that anymore.
God damn it, Dustin.
Oh my god.
His face right now.
I fucking kill all. I was really we were going real well, and I was like, hey, maybe I won't have to edit anything out this week. And then you went and fucked it up. God damn it. You guys can keep talking. I'm gonna get water for a minute. Just go.
So yeah, mech shoot 'em up.
Yeah, well, there's have you ever seen, heard,
Fucking
and or
guys.
played Hawken?
No.
It's a first-person mech shoot 'em up,
Okay.
and it kind of
I
plays.
love mechs.
Yeah, it plays off of like the Western stereotype of mechs, where they're
Oh,
like
yeah.
big and lumbering versus like Gundams.
So like Exo Squad,
Kind of like Mech Warrior. And
even
stuff
though
like
those were like
that. Like Mech
Okay.
Warrior, Mech Assault, that kind
yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
They've been working with the Oculus Rift guys to create like a mech version for the Oculus Rift, and apparently at PAX Prime, the con that just ended,
Yeah. That one.
there was a playable demo of it, and apparently like people were just like when they'd fly the mech up in the air and just they'd say, the dude that gives the demo says look at the ground, like physically look, and then when you physically look and then let go of the bumper to drop, it gives such an intense sensation of falling because it's done so well at like basically overloading your senses to create this.
Well, right. They probably
immersion.
they use the sounds rushing past your head,
Right.
which makes you feel like there's wind rushing past your head, and
It gives such an intense sensation, and they said if you get enough practice with it to intensify this virtual reality effect, try to get used to playing with it standing up,
Or just get
Ugh.
really high.
or do what RJ said.
Yeah. Always do what I say.
But I'm super excited about that. Like,
Yeah, no, that's-
because it kept reminding me of back I visited my cousin, and we went to the mall near his house, and they had this like big like game place where you come pay money, play games, and they had like those red.
so we're just
Yep,
this much closer.
I know
to
exactly
gaming.
what you're talking about. I know exactly where you're going
Those
with
red,
this.
those red goggles.
Yeah.
They're not 3D. It just like covers your face, and you literally just have a screen.
Yeah.
And you're just playing. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
we had a...
I played Spider-Man 2 for like 3 hours in there.
Well, there was a place down in Florida where we used to go on this boardwalk that had a pair of goggles that you would put on, a gun that you would hold, and like a treadmill.
Yeah.
That you could walk on.
Yeah,
and you could actually like walk in directions and it would just like adjust under
I couldn't
you.
afford to do that. That was in the
I
back
did it.
room.
I did it once.
It's pretty expensive.
Well, I was like 10 or 11, and my parents were like, "Fuck it."
Yeah. Mommy, all right. Mass murder simulator to the extreme.
Killed the shit out of my younger brother.
There you go.
He was like
Paperboy.
7 or 8.
The closest I ever got to that was laser tag.
Dude, laser tag's pretty
I do
sweet
love
too.
I do love laser
Fucking
tag.
love me some.
But yeah, no.
laser tag.
The Oculus Rift is literally Virtua Boy 2.0.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that
you
people,
put the .0 in there to
I know.
shut you up.
I wasn't gonna do it again. I've already done it once.
And the real crazy thing is that the development kits are all just in 720p right now, whereas the actual things that are coming out are going to be in proper 1080.
That's actually the dev kit they had at PAX Prime.
They had a 1080
was the
dev kit?
the 1080 dev kit.
Interesting.
And you can pre-purchase that dev kit already, but they're
For
telling
like
everyone
$800.
Yeah, they're telling everyone, don't buy it unless you're a developer because there's nothing to do with it.
Well, that's or if you are basically a more successful version of us and you just want to be there
And you just
as
wanna
a
play with
close-up.
it, yeah.
Because I would love to have one of those just to fuck around with.
Or B, if you can if you can afford it, but it's not in your budget, don't do it. Just wait for it to launch, because then we'll actually have things for it.
Yeah.
And but I'm super excited about it. Of course, the price point is going to be a little
Steep.
Yeah, I mean, it's virtual reality. Like, this is something we've wanted in video games.
Well, I mean,
for a while.
there's a lot of factors that you have to realize. One, you have to buy this peripheral that's probably going to be, let's say $500. Let's say probably $500 at least. Then you have to have a computer that has the capacity to output the proper video to that, to two 1080p screens at the same time.
Running offset parallel 3D.
Yeah. So you're gonna need a rig.
You're going to need a rig, yeah. And I'm sure a lot of the, like you said, more famous people of us could easily do it.
Well, because they've got,
they got
fucking company money or whatever.
funds and stuff. But yeah, I don't see myself using one in a while. But what's great is if you go to a lot of the bigger conventions and feel like standing in line for like 5 hours, you can play with it for like 10 minutes.
I might have to make it a point to try and get back out to Raleigh then.
Yeah, next time.
At some point
friggin-
in October, because the Escapist Expo happens, and I know people who work at the Escapist, and they're like, "Hey, you want to come to the Expo?" I was like, "Yeah, maybe." And they're like, "No, do you want to come to the Expo?" And I was like, "Oh, yes."
Yeah, we should go do that.
Well, you guys probably still have to.
We can go as a company.
Yeah, we'll see how that happens.
Oh, I got MagFest.
We'll figure it out.
Depends when in October.
I think it's like early in October.
Okay.
I think it's like the first week.
Okay. So we've got like a month to prep.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
Probably won't happen, but we'll see.
I can squeeze it.
I only just thought about it now, but I don't know. Maybe we'll be like, hey, come see us at a con, all of you people who live close to where we live anyways, and probably just see us fairly regularly anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wait, dude. Eventually there's going to be an SPX.
What?
Slashplayed Expo.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
Dude, if Penny Arcade gets to do it, Escapist
They
gets
want
to do it. Screw Attack gets to do it.
You want to come meet us at a bar? That's fun. That'll be our expo.
That's our expo. Meet us at a bar. We'll talk about video games.
Buy me
if
drinks.
we have, if we have a con,
we don't know.
can it just be like if we ever get a con, can it just be Slapfest? Slashplayed Fest.
Slapfest.
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 Slapfest 2016.
I was going to say Slapfest 2016 coming your way.
Don't. Before anybody can make jokes on that.
Front hand, backhand.
Nope, that's. Nope, that's not even where I was going with that.
It's our official sport of Slapfest.
Of Slapfest.
I don't think
backhand.
I don't think I've got anything. I finished Saints Row. That we talked about that.
Yep.
I think we're done.
Are we
you guys.
done?
I don't know. Do you guys have anything else you
Are
want
you
to talk
sure?
about?
Not really.
I could talk about random bullshit.
Not
all
other
night.
than silly things. Like Slapfest 2016.
I think we should off put it for another year, though. 2016 is not looking good for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, election year,
The Olympics.
the Olympics.
Oh, God, the Olympics.
yeah, I
I'm
mean,
so excited for the Olympics.
isn't there going to be a...
Pretty sure the World Cup is
isn't
that year.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't the World Cup that year too? Man,
It's the trifecta of awesome.
that's a lot of things we'd have to
Effective
deal with.
Things I don't care about.
We're gonna have to like Make it...
Dude, League of Legends is a sport. Can make it in the Olympics.
No.
The government says it's a sport.
Yeah, okay.
Whose government?
Ours?
Malaysia?
No, ours.
Do you really want to see what they would qualify as amateur League of Legends, though?
No, I know.
Because you can't be a professional in the Olympics unless it's basketball.
I was going to say basketball. Hello. But that's the only reason they let us do that is because we have all of their players, too.
Boom.
Pretty much.
So they're just like, well, we want our good players back. We'll let our good players play.
So, come at me.
But, well, that's one thing me and you can do for the Olympics. The one thing you actually care about. Watch the national teams play each other.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, we could do that.
Because I love me some national team
I'll watch the
basketball.
World Cup because that'll be fun. I like the World Cup. It's I rarely pick up a game of good old international football.
I like
on
watching.
the tube,
I like watching America suck and
World Cup's
Mexico
kinda
be
fun.
mediocre, and like England, Germany.
The day America wins the World Cup is the day that
England-
the world ends.
England, Germany, and Brazil basically bust each other in the nuts for like 3 weeks trying to win that fucking thing.
Well, in Spain,
Yeah.
Barcelona usually.
Well, Barcy's that's a league team. That's not an international
That's true.
team.
Well,
So are we just
they're
talking about
duders.
stuff that we don't know about anymore, or?
I know a lot about soccer.
Okay.
Manchester United for life.
Oh God!
Please kill me.
Why? Why? Because guy made you eggs?
No, because Rooney.
Oh, well.
Because
yeah.
every time he scores, I like to go,
That's
Rooney! Of course, they're benching the fuck out of him now, but whatever.
Well,
We got Van Persie.
he's mean.
Okay, this is devolving, and we can talk on our own time about dumb shit. So I'm gonna end it so that I don't have to go through editing a bunch of stuff.
You don't have to
because-
edit all this end stuff. You can just go click
No, I mean this is staying in.
Click.
This is staying in.
all of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we're going pure post. Well, I might cut off the first couple of seconds. I don't know what happened at the beginning. So.
Okay.
We just
Pure post.
we just talked about funny stuff.
Pure post.
Pure post.
There we
Pure
go.
post?
This has been the Slashplayed Podcast for this week.
Pure
We
post.
will catch you later. Say goodbye, Keith.
Bye, Keith.